Oh, what up, Lockie? Why do they call it paraplegic? When you pair of the plege out, eat the hot food.
There are
Yeah.
Special to me now.
On for tomorrow? Wait, no, I'm busy. Wait, am I busy? No, I'm not busy tomorrow. I have to wrap up by like maybe, fuck, how long is it gonna take to get there? I would assume 6 the latest, so I'd like to start early tomorrow if possible. Have I played Mario Kart World yet? Yeah. Yes, we are ironing the man today at some point. Was it fun, or did you really not like it? Did you not really like it? I thought it was pretty mid as far as Mario Karts go. I wish I liked it, but it's just mid. What's up, BAFTA? Oh, fuck. That shit was mid. That shit was mid. That shit was mid. Am I doing good? I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good. How did we get here on a 20 stream streak? You tell me, bub. Knockout is such a fun game mode, though. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely a fun mode. They cooked with that. There's no doubt about it. Play Street Fighter? I already do. Friday after lunch, clock moving mad slow. That's relatable, my dude. Alright. We're going to be watching a couple videos today, and then we're going to get right into the Iron Man. So the first one we're going to watch is from Mock Rock Talk about the top 10 absurdly underrated Smash Ultimate moves. I think this is an interesting topic because there's definitely more than 10. But I'll give my takes on that, and I'll talk about what he talks about. See if he makes any good points, because there's a lot of good moves out there that kind of just get overshadowed by some more broken moves, maybe in that same character's kit. Or have you ever heard the sentence that Link's Nair on any other character would make that character immediately jump up like 20 spots? Like, the high key, that's spitting. You know? You just got recommended that earlier? Well, now we're going to watch it together because you haven't watched it yet. You fool. You've changed, man. Chat hasn't been saying anything interesting for the last like 4 minutes, so I'm starting the video. And you can't stop me, dude.
There are well over 1,000 unique moves in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so it should come as no surprise that plenty of them just don't make it to the spotlight, even if they're quite powerful, and that's what we're looking at today. This is going to be a list of 10 more moves that are individually strong, or have good synergy within their characters' movesets, maybe have some unique applications, but for what
he showed Doc Nair, and that move is not good. Just, like, it's okay. It's not a great move.
For whatever reason, they're just not really talked about within the broader Smash player base. Some of these were submitted by you, and it's a long way from a definitive compilation, so feel free to leave a comment about anything you might like to see pop up in the future.
Me too, fair. It's a good one. Um, I feel like most players know which moves are broken, you know? But we'll see.
This video is sponsored by Ugreen. Ugreen support just fine to me. Monitor very video. I say they do a keep putting Lucas stuff on them until you people move them into high tier. You think I won't? This character's moveset is just ridiculous. Anyway, the choice this time around is down air. Even at a base level, just
Down air?
doing the kinds of things you want down airs to do, this is so good at them. Yeah, sure, it's an offstage spike like any other, except that you don't really need to worry about lining the timing up too well. Throw it.
That's not true at all. People fall out of down air all the time. It's not like one of those like multi-hit moves that like don't connect really. Or rather, like one of those multi-hit moves that just like magically connect every time. It's not like that at all. I feel like his down air is just okay. You know, I don't think it's amazing. I think where it shines is like those like weird like down tilt rising down air loops. But that's like one use case.
Well, like any other spike, throw it out way before you reach them. Don't worry about it too much, it'll still land. Use it as a combo starter against a grounded opponent like you would any other stomp. Except this time around, it comes with the benefit of the hitbox starting up while Lucas is still rising into the air, but also still persisting up to and past the point where a normal stomp would be active, so it beats spot dodge. And you can use it to drag an opponent off stage, then spike them. You can use the same timing to beat ledge jump, or normal ledge get up, ledge hang, ledge drop double jump, get up attack. Yeah, of course it beats get up attack, why not? You can cover rolls with it too if you're not worried about taking your opponent off stage, which you don't need to be at all because the reward for landing this against a grounded opponent is just so good. It loops into itself. There are so few ultimate characters who have access to that. Lucas gets it starting at like mid%. Now, it's true it can be a little finicky sometimes to go for extended down air loops because Lucas
Webb, what are you doing playing a Lucas, man?
has a sour spot and a sweet spot, and sometimes the down air, even if you hit the sweet spot, will put his
Also, it's inconsistent.
opponent on the ground, and sometimes it pops them up into the air. You need to keep track of all of that while also following your opponent's drift. It's nice that they can't SDI out of these combos, but still, sure. Theoretically, Lucas should be able to land a stray hit on most of the roster and then convert it into death basically anytime mid% and up. In practice, it is generally wiser to give up the loops early, just cash them out for damage, which is what I would say if down air was Lucas's only looping move. But guess what? Nope. At higher percents, drag down neutral air and down tilt also loop into each other. And guess what again? Down air leads into drag down neutral air. So you really don't need to get greedy with it. You can just do a couple of down air repetitions to build up good damage. That leads into neutral air. Neutral air keeps your...
This is all like hurtbox dependent too, I feel like. Because like that rising down air won't hit like every character is kind of the problem. Like... And also, like, Lucas's moves have so much extra hits done because of just the way they work. They're pretty SDIable, so if you're SDIing his combos, you won't get looped by this stuff, or you'll get hit by, like, a sour spot. So I don't think this is a spectacular move by any means.
Your opponent way closer to you and leads into guaranteed finishers. Depending on the exact character and percent, you can finish things off with an up throw or an up air, maybe a forward smash. The important thing is they're dead. Down air loops were discovered fairly early into Ultimate's life, and nowadays I have trouble finding a lot of Lucas players who go for them super consistently. Again, they are kind of tricky, but then you have players like Den Koda over in Japan who lands these all the time. And then earlier on in Ultimate's life, there was also Web JP before he switched over to Sheik, another character with drag down loops. So I have to conclude that, you know what? These are viable if you're good enough. They're hard to make 100% consistent, but even if you can get them decently consistent, Lucas's ceiling goes up a lot. So that's some fantastic synergy. It also has a ton of synergy with his double jump cancel Zair chains, which are certifiably disgusting. At this point, if you want to be a competent Lucas main, you really have to know how to do these. Now,
how many characters do we have? Like, I didn't know that this was still up. Hold up. How many characters do we have in Ultimate that just, like, have this insane 0 to death potential that just still aren't that good, you know? We got, like, Isabel who does that stuff. There's, like, Banjo who can hypothetically 0 to death every character in the game. Apparently me, Swordsman, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Come on, dude. You know? Come on.
Zero loops are frankly pretty cheap against everyone, but especially against characters like fast fallers and big bodies, characters that hit the ground in between each repetition of Zare. Because in that case, it's very easy to just swap the final Zare out for a down air and drag your opponent off stage with it. And my God, does that put them in a terrible position. Or, you know, you can just complete your loops and get your spike anyways. Whatever, it's all good. Keep in mind, Zare loops already give Lucas touch of death combos against some of these characters. He did not need a way to make them even more oppressive at even earlier percents, but here we are. To this day, I still think that Lucas is one of the overall most underrated characters in Smash Ultimate, and Danar isn't the central focus of what he's up to most.
You should try playing neutral with Lucas, because his neutral kind of sucks is kind of the problem. He's like so reliant on like 2 moves that I don't know. Well, that's not the conversation here. Whatever. Lucas is not good. Down air's not broken.
Most of the time, but it certainly can be. It does so much for a down air. Far from his only move I could put on this list, but he was definitely getting one and will again. Or will he? Ball's in your court, Luminosity. Okay, so we opened up with a relatively complicated move. Back to basics for this one. Wii Fit Trainer's up tilt.
This anti-air, I'm pretty sure, never loses, and it shield pokes. This is actually a pretty good move.
I've had a lot of people ask me to talk about this one over the years. It's a very good combo tool. That applies to a lot of up tilts, but for Wii Fit Trainer in particular, it's notable that even with her weird, stubby, awkward hitboxes, she can still combo off this with DI away for a long time. And that actually applies even if deep breathing is active. With how deadly it makes the knockback on a lot of her dedicated kill moves, you might assume that up tilt's role would kind of change in the moment it just knocks opponents too far, but it actually still does the job just fine and introduces a boatload of extra damage on top of it. That's great and all, but what really puts this move on the list is its hitbox. What the hell is that?
It's like grounded cloud up air. Like, what the heck is this? Wii Fit is high tier, you're coping. Character's still not great.
Yeah, what looks like a relatively straightforward arm poke up is actually closer to 2 arm pokes up with a butt hitbox tacked on for good measure. It didn't have that in Smash 4, by the way.
Wow, looks like those Iron Bun workout videos are really paying off.
So yeah, a relatively humble animation is actually disguising an incredible anti-air, especially because that arm is fully invincible. It'll beat essentially anything you throw at.
Having a dedicated anti-air like that on a character that's fast, like Wii Fit, like especially fast with like deep breathing and stuff. This up tilt's actually very good. I actually agree with him on this one.
A frame 5 startup makes it very easy to react to things with it too. That's one of the fastest up tilts in the entire game. It lasts for a good long time too, 7 frames with no sour spot. You can catch air dodges, get some lingering protection.
It's an active hitbox too. That's another thing people don't talk about.
Maybe get a meaty hit at the ledge. It's super reliable. Next up is another up tilt I've gotten a ton of requests for. King Dedede's Headbutt.
Okay, but broken? Like underrated? Like, I don't know. People know it's a kill move. It's just a kill move. I don't know.
This is another
let's hear him out. I have to be convinced.
Very solid anti-air attack. It doesn't have the same ridiculous oversized hitbox that Wii Fit Trainers does, but it is still a bit disjointed and his head is invincible. And despite the lack of a butt hitbox, it still covers a lot of horizontal space quite quickly. It comes out on frame 7, which by King Dedede standards is very good. Now, unlike with Wii Fit Trainers up tilt, this is not a great combo move. Against some characters or against opponents who don't DI out right away, you can get a little bit of stuff at starting percents, but it's definitely not what the move's designed to do. What it is designed for is killing, which it's quite good at. It's reminiscent of like a tilt equivalent to Mario's up smash. Now, being an up tilt instead of an up smash means you can't use it out of shield, which makes it almost inarguably worse, but still, it's not a bad tool to have. That combination of speed, coverage, and kill power also makes it very good for ledge trapping, which is already one of King Dedede's strengths as a character. And like with Mario's up smash, it's got that thing going on where frame data wise it's not actually safe on shield, but you can kind of fudge it sometimes.
If people know not to like, any good player will get their shield up tilted by Dedede and know it's not their turn. Unless you have something heinous out of shield, you let Dedede up tilt your shield and then you walk away. It's just like one of those things, you know? There's a lot of like mid-level characters that like, it hits your shield and you're locked into shield for like a weirdly long time, and your sixth sense should tell you what the hell is going on. Also, you guys didn't tell me that this thing showed up and now I'm down here. Like, what the heck? My overlay just keeps changing out of nowhere. What is going on?
King Dedede also has his Inhale, which Mario doesn't, so you can go for some cheesy grab release buffered up tilt stuff. It's fake, it's totally fake. People who know the matchup won't die to this, but you know what? It's King Dedede. A lot of people don't. Going back to that shield stuff though, there is actually one more use case I want to bring up. parry, up tilt, cancel. This is a tech that Chunky Kong, the DK player, initially
Nobody will do this.
discovered. So the principle behind it is you parry the first hit of your opponent's multi-hit move, then buffer an up tilt so you force a trade, and what happens is they get stuck in the full hit stun of your up tilt while you get stuck in the hit stun of that one multi-hit, which is minimal, and also less laggy than if you'd gone through with the full up tilt animation, which actually opens up a lot of new combo routes that wouldn't normally be possible. Now, this was obviously intended originally to work with DK, but as it turns out, a lot of other characters can use it too, including King Dedede. Now, in some cases, I could see this being a real thing. For him specifically, I'm skeptical. In my testing, at least, the positioning you needed seemed really specific. Him having an invincible head is actually a detriment because he can't trade that easily, and frame 7's not slow, but DK, for comparison, has a frame 5 up tilt, and you feel that extra stuff slipping past. Still, you know, maybe. King Dedede's very...
I don't agree with this one. I'm not totally sold on this up tilt being broken. Underrated? Maybe. I think it's a good move. I don't think it's... Like, people should know at this point, you know?
susceptible to shield pressure, and he doesn't have any options out of, say, footstool out of shield, so any help he can get might come up. Definitely worth mentioning. Okay, and while I'm here, I might as well cover another Kirby character, Kirby, and
No, you're not about to say Rock.
specifically his fan favorite Stone. Now, I don't really...
This was going to take a lot of convincing how the most telegraphed move, suboptimal for edge guarding in most cases. This move is nichely useful in edge guards against characters that like have too big of a hitbox when recovering. You can't down air them with Kirby, so you do the Rock instead. Like, I'll hear him out.
I don't really have a ton of fancy stuff to talk about for this one, but what I can say is this is very well understood as like a bad casual move, right? It's a staple of big item battles on Hyrule Temple, not so much the competitive scene, but there are some very legitimately good competitive Kirby players out there at this point, and I've been surprised by just how much Stone has crept its way into their game plans.
Like, it's just like it's like a stall and fall. It's alternative use, you know?
Again, there's nothing all that technical going on here. I'd love it if you could, for example, use Stone as a footstool out of shield option, but it's just a bit too slow for that. It's just Kirby's player base squeezing every bit of power they can out of every move they can. So you will see them use Stone to, for example, safely get into a recovery situation instead of a landing situation. That's not to say Kirby has a particularly incredible recovery either, but given how floaty he is and how poor his air movement is, he's still generally less comfortable coming down than he is going up. Sometimes you will see them use Stone for edge guards. It's kind of a risky option, but there are plenty of characters where...
I guess I agree with him in the way that it is underrated, right? Because I will agree overall. He says it's mostly seen as a casual move and totally trash and trolling, but it does actually have uses. So I will agree that it is underrated. Like he says, Kirby would rather come back to stage through ledge and not get juggled in the air because of his garbage mobility in the air. So Rock just helps with that. So, did you guys know you can actually break the Rock? There are moves that you can do that will hit Kirby out of the Rock, and in some cases, it's counters. So if you see him coming down and you have like a really strong counter or something, I'm pretty sure you can hit him out of it.
It's relatively straightforward to force them into situations where they don't actually have a ton of counterplay to that. And at the end of the day, Stone does hit very hard. And sometimes you will see them even just straight up go for Stone as a disadvantage reversal like your little brother does. And it'll work. It's not a great option, but because it's not a great option, people don't expect great players to do it. And honestly, even
spitting.
Phrasing it like that may undersell it a bit. The thing is, if Kirby's opponent hard commits to juggling him and he pulls the trigger on Stone, even if it whiffs, there's still a decent chance their positions are going to line up in a way that keeps them safe. If they don't hard commit, then yeah, it's very easy to punish, but in that case, cool. Kirby would very much like you to not commit to juggling him. Look, I'm not out here trying to convince you that Stone's a great move, and the sad reality is if you replaced it with most other characters' down specials, Kirby would probably be...
Stall and fall will always be viable. That is true. Anything with an innate timing mix-up is generally good.
Better for it, but it's got a home. Kirby's no top tier threat, but personally I think he's better than a lot of people give him credit for, and there are people out there who take him very seriously and are capable of going up against the best of the best.
That's crazy. That MKLeo of all players got baited by the Rock.
Kirby's no top tier threat, but personally I think he's better than a lot of people give him credit for, and there are...
I'm gonna go punish punish him.
Are people out
Trade with back air.
there who take him very seriously and are capable of going up against the best of the best, and they use stone. Not just for fun, not as a sign of disrespect, they use it because sometimes it's just the move to use, and I think that's pretty cool. Okay, then heading into another special move, we have Byleth's Arid Bar.
Surely you guys know this move is heinous, right? Shield stun city. Big ass hitbox, grab the ledge with it, because for some reason you can grab ledge out of doing this move.
The big surface level use case for this move is fairly obvious, right? It's a huge hit. It goes super far, it's a great jump call out, it kills comfortably. Byleth is Smash's first lance user, and this move showcases the range that lances are known for quite well. It didn't take long after Byleth came out, though, for a lot of other interesting applications to start popping up. The fact that the air version stalls you turned out to do a lot. You can use it for a super deep edge guard and still make it back safely. You can use it as a recovery mix-up in a lot of ways. You can do that raw.
I feel like anything that Byleth can do is just not underrated anymore because we've probably seen Leo use it.
You can pressure the ledge relatively safely while you're getting back to it. You can pressure the ledge while you're already at the ledge, do a bit of planking. It's a good move to pair with his up special at early percents. It gives you some nice, reliable damage before you start using sort of the creator to fish for kills instead. That's a lot of good stuff it can do, but nothing too obscure in that list, right? And because MK Leo, maybe the overall best known Smash Ultimate player, uses a lot of Byleth and naturally makes good use of Arid Bar alongside it, it might sound a bit funny to call it underrated. There is another application for Arid Bar, though, that I only learned about relatively recently. Now, maybe this is a well-known thing outside of my little bubble, maybe it's not, but I've watched more Smash Ultimate footage than maybe anyone besides a few dozen people on the planet at this point, and it's completely slipped past me. So while Arid Bar's aerial hitbox is still pretty nice, it doesn't lunge out anywhere near as far as the grounded version, so while you're on the stage, you do generally want to stay planted if you're using it. The thing is, though, it turns out if you do the aerial version while you're just above the ground, it actually sticks considerably below the ledge. And I mean,
I didn't know that. That's news.
Seriously, wow, it really goes down there, so it turns out to be a great two-frame, which I just don't see people do. Except for one. I first heard about this in a video by On, where Justin Byleth, a top Byleth player, pitched it as a piece of obscure Byleth tech that should be covered in a Smash video talking about obscure tech. And yeah, he makes great use of it, and it's especially effective on a character like Byleth, who can just short hop in place and threaten forward air and back air, which often causes opponents to stall at the ledge for a bit, and he can generally have a bit of trouble countering that, and this fills that gap in so well. And the brilliant part is that it also covers most of their other options. Being able to hit ledge hang and ledge jump with a single move is like the holy grail of ledge trapping. Very few characters have that. I legitimately feel like I should have heard about this at some point, especially because I used to play Byleth.
I'm convinced. I agree. I'm a learned man now. I think that move's underrated now that I know about that, and I will be trying to abuse it, hopefully today. Yeah, new Iron Man tech, exactly.
But it's just completely bypassed me. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I don't see it used in tournaments. Is it just me? Like, is this an obvious thing to Byleth players? I don't know. And honestly, I'm happy about it. Even after being completely immersed in Smash Ultimate for the last 6 years, this game is so big and so complex that it still generates these light bulb moments for me. And until the next one replaces it, I can't imagine that ever stopping. Okay, some more DLC coming at you here. Min Min's dash attack is up next.
I know this is broken.
Quick question. Why the f does she have this? Min Min is defined by having the...
That's Brawl Zero Suit's dash attack, but on crack. It high profile stuff. It's like it gap closes. It crosses up like a Fox dash attack. This move is ridiculous.
The best space coverage in the entire game. At longer distances, that comes from her forward smash, forward tilts, and forward airs, and that makes sense for the source material. But then even at closer distances, you have moves like neutral air, which just covers everything. If she wants to cover directly in front of her a bit faster than forward tilt can offer, down tilt is right there. She's got a lightning fast up tilt, lightning fast up smash, lightning fast down smash. She can hit everyone anywhere around her with absolutely no problem, so I don't understand why on top of all of that, the devs decided she also needed a dash attack that goes this far, crosses up shields this comfortably, and comes out on frame 7, which is the same speed as Greninja's dash attack, an agile ninja character who heavily relies on it. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that in ARMS, she's a martial artist who's incentivized to dash around a lot, so she doesn't really have a sluggish feel to her at all, and Sakurai felt obligated to replicate some of that feel in Smash, despite the fact that agile and this kind of range, as far as I'm concerned, are a completely irreconcilable pairing. I truly don't think she should get to have both, and considering how internationally despised this character's design is, yeah, I'm willing to call it a straight up mistake. The one thing I can say in Dash Attack's defense is, unlike, say, Greninja's, it's not a combo starter, but in the context of Min Min's kit, you know, it's close enough. It easily pushes opponents into the perfect range for her to start applying her arm pressure again. That arm pressure is certainly a better tool than Dash Attack. Several of her moves are. That's why it's on this list. I don't tend to give a lot of slots to top tiers, but that doesn't mean it's not gross. And if you wanted to say, hey, she really needs a lower percent combo tool out of neutral air, well, guess what? Down tilt fills in a lot of that role too. That move's honestly pretty gross in its own right, but at the very least, it makes a bit more sense for a zoner to have. It's slower, more evasive, and only hits along the ground. All right, enough of the. It's a bit what down tilt fills in a lot of that role too. That move's honestly pretty gross in its own right, but at the very least, it makes a bit more sense for a zoner to have. It's slower, more evasive, and only hits along the ground. All right, enough of the rant. Next up, we have Robin's Thunder Tome. So I think this clip speaks for itself.
The problem is, like, it's Robin. Hey, Robin. Oh my. Robin's not scared of just getting killed.
That's, this is a good one. Thunder's broken.
Yeah. From a neutral beat. What?
Again, man, that's just
Thunder
Robin's
you're
stuff.
dead.
Robin
But this
would be
character's
Robin.
bad, though?
Yeah, everyone knows chargeable projectiles tend to be good in Smash, but the bulk of the focus tends to go to moves like Samus's Charge Shot, for example, which is very simple and easy to use. If you do hear any competitive players praise good Robin moves, it'll tend to be the Levin Sword stuff, and rightfully so. Well, hey, Basic Thunder, the super fast
I try to do this stuff too. If you watch my Robin play, I just thunder, out thunder.
Projectile that you don't need to charge at all combos into the Levin Sword. And that's on top of its obvious general purpose role as an incredibly annoying little projectile. Again, it comes out quick, it's very safe to use, it does solid damage, and it stops your opponent dead in their tracks. It can be legitimately really annoying to get around.
One of those things that just make the moves like a little bit better is the fact that moves in this game have like attributes, kind of like elemental attributes, and Thunder gives extra hit stun to whatever it's, you know, tacked onto. So the fact that, like, you know, when you do actually hit someone with Thunder, you get those little bit of bonus frames to do whatever you want. Just a fun fact.
The next charge level up is L Thunder, which may be the overall least dramatic charge stage, but it's still very good as a general purpose projectile, and that especially applies to offstage situations. It actually starts killing fairly earlier than you'd expect given its speed, every part of its speed, whether we're talking about how...
Yeah, okay, I didn't know I thought he was just talking about Thunder, but yeah, like, L Thunder can frame trap people, like, that move is OP, and then Arc Thunder can, like, shield break or shield poke, you know? Thoron is trash. Thoron is somehow, like, the fully charged one is garbage.
How quickly it charges up, how fast it is to cast, how quickly it travels, it's nasty. After that, we have the third stage Arc Thunder, and this one has some notoriety as an incredible shield trap. It locks your opponent in place enough for you to get a grab, go for a shield break, which Robin can do decently reliably, and that's just on block. On hit, Robin can once again get combos off it. Now, the spacing needs to be relatively specific for it to work. In Smash 4, it locked opponents in place for a very long time. Ultimate, not so much. They moved some of that trapping roll over to Arc Fire, but it'll still absolutely do it. It also allows for some trajectory manipulation, particularly the Ignis technique, the term Robin players have for trapping an opponent in Arc Thunder and then hitting them with down air. And what I think happens here is the game adds the knockback vectors together or something to that effect, and then you get this just completely unreasonable launch angle. You don't necessarily need to get too clever with it though, it's also a solid kill move all by itself. As for stage 4 of the charge, Thoron, this is probably the one you see the least, and I don't blame Robin players for it. Not only does it take a while to charge and consume a lot of the tome, it's also just not nearly as strong as you might think. It is still fairly powerful, don't get me wrong, but between that and the resource thing, it might feel like a bit too much commitment to charge this up and try and hit people with it, even if it is fairly easy to hit people. The travel time's very fast. I will say though, it definitely works better in the context of Robin's kit because Arc Fire is a trapping move, so you do have what's honestly a pretty reliable setup.
Looks cool.
Into it. And there are a few other ones too, most notably Robin's items can combo into Thoron pretty consistently. Honestly though, a huge reason it's on this list is just because of the basic Thunder. It's not the only chargeable projectile that's super good even without any charge on it. Mewtwo's Shadow Ball comes to mind, but this one really revels in it in a way that the others don't. We're gonna look at another chargeable projectile character, but not another chargeable projectile. Let's talk about Lucario's Neutral Air. This thing looks very benign, very unremarkable, but in reality, it's actually one of the single safest aerials in the entire game. Lucario obviously has the aura mechanic where his damage output goes way up as he gets hurt. Even at 0% though, a totally fresh stock, Neutral air is -2 on shield, which is just insane. If you look at some of the most notorious aerials in the game, take Cloud's back air for example, that's -3. Joker's back air, -5. Ike's neutral air, -5. And keep in mind, these are all considered incredible, very safe tools. You can find better frame data than this, but you have to really look for it. Link's notorious neutral air, for example, its sweet spot, landed as low as you possibly can, is -1. So congratulations, we beat it, but there's a bit of a catch. First off, in terms of safety, there's technically no difference between -1 and -2. The fastest out of shield punish in Ultimate is frame 3, so both these moves are 100% guaranteed safe. Being -1 just gives it a bit of leeway. Who doesn't like leeway though? And as luck would have it, we've just been talking
Once
about Lucario.
he gets aura, it becomes even safer. That's what he's gonna say.
Go without aura. Build up that percent a bit, and guess what? It goes to -1. Build it up higher, and you can actually get it to be neutral on shield. And at that point, it's basically just in a league of its own. And it's not just a good pressure tool either. It offers Lucario a lot if he hits it, which is not hard to do. The hitbox is surprisingly big, and it's fairly disjointed.
So like, it's crazy because it's a multi-hit, it's super active, it combos, in some cases it kills. This move is actually pretty overpowered, I won't lie. His dash tag is also low-key up there too, but we'll see if he talks about it.
It's a very dynamic move like many Lucario has, but the gist of it is that at low percents, it's a fantastic combo starter. You can use it to start combos, but also between its large hitbox and Lucario's high airspeed, it sees plenty of use on top of that as a linker in the middle of larger combos. There's a band in there where depending on exactly what Lucario's aura is and his opponent's percent and who he's fighting and their DI, where you can use neutral air to combo into critical tools like back air, for example, as a kill confirm, and then there's a window after that where even if it's not a true combo, it still sets them up perfectly. It's a really awkward position. It's got such low knockback that even at high aura, it's one of Lucario's few attacks that doesn't turn into a killing machine, but that's totally fine. When everything else kills effortlessly, a bit of utility is not such a bad thing to have. God, can you imagine if this thing was fast? It's unfortunately frame 10, which is quite slow for a brawler neutral air. That's his main weakness. If they shaved even a few frames off that, it would be a legitimate, like, god tier move. Just gonna have to settle for great. Okay, and then heading into
One thing that does kind of hold it back, though, is that, like, this hitbox, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of these. It's the Where's My Hug hitbox. Which, like, it's kind of good, it's kind of bad. It wins most air-to-airs, but if they're coming down on that, like, weird diagonal angle, kind of like this, you just lose with the Lucario neutral air, but it's still an insanely good move. Was that his smash forward air? I remember it was different. It's the same, I'm pretty sure. Maybe a little bit more horizontal.
our penultimate choice, we have Inkling's Splatter Shot.
This move got buffed. And honestly, yeah. It's a good move.
Shout out to Surstack, by the way, who's been very persistent about it. I gotta admit, I always kind of forget about this one, partially because everyone kind of forgot about Inkling in general, and partially because, you know, the character's not really played like a zoner. I gotta say though, yeah, this thing is super annoying. There are very few projectiles in Smash that can cover both the ground and the air without any kind of movement commitment on your part. Splatter Shot accomplishes
the fact that if you get too close and it puts you into stun is crazy. That it's so obnoxious. It has like no end lag too. They can just react to you trying to jump over and just stop doing it.
that, all while being extremely safe to use for the most part. Take that level of frame data and create just a bit of distance from your opponent, and functionally, it's unpunishable. You can use it to get off the ledge very comfortably. Even if they shield it, you're still chilling. That kind of shield pressure makes it very good for an offensive setup too. Your opponent really doesn't have time to do much. That low ending lag also makes it easy to weave into your game plan however you want. And in some instances, you definitely do want that. Like I said, Inkling ended up playing like more of a brawler, and in a lot of cases she's perfectly happy to, but in matchups where that's more difficult, this is a phenomenal fallback tool for applying pressure. It does.
I think the only thing that holds this move back from being like broken is the fact that it spends a lot of ink. So if you just settle for shielding it or just avoid it altogether, like, it's fine. And there's like a lot of like larger hitboxes that like better characters have that can just outrange the splatter shot. So like, I don't know if it's underrated. I don't know what the general consensus is on Inkling Splatter Shot because, yeah, like he said, ain't nobody played this character.
does damage and a bit of knockback, but just as importantly, your opponent really does not want to be inked. That damage multiplier goes up to 1.5 times and it starts stacking up quickly. Now, it's true the splatter shot consumes ink to use, and it's not a trivial amount, and if you're low on ink, its range goes down, but honestly, at least in competitive play, none of that's a huge deal. Managing Inkling's tank isn't too much trouble. And then there's also a technique I came across during my research called the tap shot, which I haven't seen out in the wild very much. I'm not sure why. I'm not an Inkling player. If there's something about this I'm missing, fill me in, please, by all means, because it seems good. So typically, when you bury an opponent with the splat roller, they're gonna mash out and then pop way up into the air. But then if you bury them and then instantly B-reverse splatter shot just a single hit, they end up popping out right in front of you instead, which makes follow-ups much easier, especially on heavier characters, the characters you can't just pluck out of the ground with up smash. Yeah, it's not something I could really find Inkling players doing nowadays. It seems easy and good, so maybe it's just...
I mean, the reason you don't see it is because you might as well just hit them. Like, that time that you spend doing the splatter shot is time you're wasting not setting up a smash attack or something.
It's not widespread info. Maybe there's something I don't know about it. I don't know. Almost at the end now. As always, we're going to do one honorable mention, and this time around, it's Mii Sword Fighter's back air. So we just talked about Cloud's phenomenal back air.
but...
Mii Sword Fighters is not actually too far off. It's 1 frame less safe on shield at -4, which is still phenomenal. And to compensate, it starts up 1 frame faster, frame 10. And its knockback curve is also just fantastic. At low percents, it has so little knockback that you can actually jab block with it, which naturally makes it a phenomenal combo tool, and then by the time your opponent's at kill percent, it'll do that too. Now, this move got a huge surge of attention recently for certain reasons. I'm not going to dive into that here. I know some of you are expecting it. I know some of you have asked me about it. What I will say is keep an eye out over on Mock Rock. Tell you what though, if you really need your Mii fix, then why don't we wind things down with Mii Brawler's Flashing Mach Punch.
No. This move is good for one purpose. For cheesing and for shield mix-ups, and a little bit of both. Not underrated at all. I mean, the Mii brawler that I play against uses that move, so it's not a surprise for me. Like, it's not... Like, I know this move is good literally only because it's a shield mix-up.
With all Mii specials, the Flashing Mach Punch is in direct competition with 2 other moves for the same move slot. One of them is a Falcon Punch clone that's safer on shield, so we can go ahead and throw that one away. But the other one, his shot put, is a very solid projectile, the only kind of ranged option Mii Brawler has access to. The Flashing Mach Punch, in comparison, is a close quarters kill move that launches off the top. Not necessarily a bad move to have, but also not one that Mii Brawler is lacking. In fact, a couple years back, the discovery of just how good his up special is that does this, Thrust Uppercut, led to a massive upheaval in the character's meta. So given the choice between a projectile, a move that totally re-envisions what Mii Brawler's capable of doing, and another series of punches, it seems like an obvious choice, and yet, in practice, you still see quite a few competitive Mii Brawler players going with the Flashing Mach Punch. Why is that?
See, that's not even a good, like, example of what... Like, you can just up B there. Where he did that neutral beat, just do the up B, it'll kill.
Well, I think first and foremost, the most straightforward answer is while the Flashing Mach Punch and Thrust Uppercut are both easy to combo into and both kill off the top, the Flashing Mach Punch just does it better. Thrust Uppercut is very flexible, it's a fast out of shield option, and Mii Brawler can extend into it easily because of how high it sends him. As far as its actual kill power goes though, it's not bad, but it's also not absolutely insane, and as Waidu demonstrated a while back, you can also partially SDI out of it to survive even longer. A technique that does also work with the Flashing Mach Punch to some extent, but not quite this dramatically.
Hold up! Hold up! Oh!
Flashing Mach Punch, on the other hand, is insane. If there's ever a situation where you have the opportunity to combo into either move, you're choosing the Flashing Mach Punch. Every time. There's a bit more to it as well. It gives you a bit of an air stall that can be useful as, say, a recovery aid, and when you combine that with a fairly persistent hitbox and the fact that you get some invincibility once it starts up, it ends up being a surprisingly effective edgeguarding tool. If you don't want that air stall though, you can also cancel it in some instances using the Fortnite Flash Another fantastic Waidu contribution. Yeah, bottom line, the move has some weird properties when you buffer it out of a jump. Sabrick, the Mii Brawler player, also chimed in with some more sane use cases, among them being that it can actually hit some characters hanging on the ledge. Not the entire roster, sadly, but if you know your matchups well, that can be a hell of a surprise. He also mentioned that Mii Brawler is excellent at triggering panic air dodges, and this is one of his overall best punishes for that. In fact, given just how powerful it is and how relatively quickly it starts up, frame 10, I'm inclined to call it one of the better punish moves in the entire game, and it's also very, very effective at two-framing recoveries that don't have hitboxes on them. And then the final reason this move is underrated, the really big one, the true game changer, it used to totally suck, and then Sakurai buffed it.
No.
A lot. Raise your hand if you honestly knew that. Thanks for watching, everyone. I always have fun making these.
I kind of disagree with that last one just because, like I don't like that last move just because, like, sure, there are use cases for it. Well, I guess we're talking about underrated. Well, underrated would imply that people think it's bad. But people know it's good, you know? And, like, as for if it's good or not that good. Pretty good amount of lag. Kind of predictable, in my opinion. The range is not very good. Not a lot of checkmate scenarios you can put people in. If you're getting falling up aired by basically any character at like 90%, you're probably dead anyway. At least any decent character, you know? Like, is there a character who can't kill you off of falling up air that is in the S or A tier? I don't think there is one that can't do that. You know? So, you deserve to get hit by it anyway. It's not rated as highly as it should be. I don't know. I'm a knower, so I'm biased. Simply having the ability to swap between the two specials based on the matchup is good enough. That's true as well, yeah. I think shot put is just kind of always the choice there, but hey, maybe that's just proving his point correctly, you know what I mean? I'm gonna look at the Smash Ultimate roster real quick, and maybe this is not the Smash Ultimate roster. I'm trying to think of like some other moves that people might not know about. I'm like looking towards like the bottom end of the tier list for the most part, but Rosa's down tilt is indeed a war crime. Yeah, but we've been known since Smash 4, you know? Smash 4 Rosa is, if you've watched the buzz, you're a knower, you know. Let's see. Moves that are low key good. I feel like Mewtwo jab low key goes in there. You know. I think Mewtwo jab is one of those underrated moves that people don't know about. It's like you have like 6 years to hit confirm Mewtwo jab. And like having that low commitment like poof option is really good. Plant up air because people don't think about plant. No, I think people know plant up air is great. Well, actually no, because they only talk about Patui. But yeah, plant up air is another good example, I suppose. Wii Fit F tilt is a little underrated. No, people know that shit's broken. Jab 2 of Young Link. Okay, you're trolling, that's for sure. Mewtwo F tilt is also really good. It's okay. I don't think it's anything to write home about. Ice Climber's down tilt. The angle is foul. As a move alone, honestly, I'll kind of agree with that. It also hits the ledge. So Ice Climber's down tilt, an underrated move. Kind of crazy. That's how most Sopos win, is just by flashbanging you with the down tilt and you didn't know that it did what it does. Young Link Boomerang, all of the Link's boomerangs point blank are insane, but Young Link is, I think, the most guilty of it. Of just like point blank boomerang is overpowered. Zelda up air hella underrated? No, I think people know all about Zelda's moves. I think if there is one move that people don't know about with Zelda, it's down tilt. It like perfectly pops up for forward air a lot of the time. people will gaslight you into thinking Mega Man Dash Attack is whack. No, that move is ass. That is not a good move. Let's see if I can give one more. Oh, Steve Neutralby. Oh. Did you guys know Duck Hunt's canon is frame 1? Instant up tilt, not a good move. Shoto light F tilt. Wait, you're low-key spitting. Why did you think of that? That's actually a great answer. What the hell is wrong with you? You guys did know about Duck Hunt? Word. Yeah, actually, okay, Frosty brings up a great one, but like Ryu especially, but Ken as well, like they'll do light F tilt at ledge and you'll DI in, and then they'll just back air you at like 80 and you'll explode. Broken move. Yeah, like spaced, I don't know if it's safe, but it's definitely hard to react to or even punish, but they just hit you a little and then you DI in because you're scared for your life and you're fighting against Ryu, and yeah. Nobody knows what light F tilt is until they die at 60 to it. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. I'm pretty sure Ken can like do a down air out of it or something also crazy. But yeah, you know what? I'll take that answer, Frosty. Light F tilt from Ken and Ryu. But that's it. Tell me in the comments what you think the most underrated Smash moves are. I love reading the YouTube comments. Trust me, I do it all the time. Down check. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Wait, subscribe to the channel. Outing myself as a Shoto hater. Yeah, me too, bub. Me too. Little Mac neutral B for landing low key. That's true, actually. Every move is underrated. Yeah, okay, bub. Yeah, okay, bub. Alright, hold on, watch this video again. I'll be right back.
Tilt while you get stuck in the hit stun of that one multi-hit, which is minimal, and also less laggy than if you'd gone through with the full up tilt animation, which actually opens up a lot of new combo routes that wouldn't normally be possible. Now, this was obviously intended originally to work with DK, but as it turns out, a lot of other characters can use it too, including King Dedede. Now, in some cases, I could see this being a real thing. For him specifically, I'm skeptical. In my testing, at least, the positioning you needed seemed really specific. Him having an invincible head is actually a detriment because he can't trade that easily, and frame 7's not slow, but DK, for comparison, has a frame 5 up tilt, and you feel that extra stuff slipping past. Still, you know, maybe. King Dedede's very susceptible to shield pressure, and he doesn't have any options out of, say, footstool out of shield, so any help he can get might come up. Definitely worth mentioning. Okay, and while I'm here, I might as well cover another Kirby character, Kirby, and specifically his fan favorite Stone. Now, I don't really have a ton of fancy stuff to talk about for this one, but what I can say is this is very well understood as like a bad casual move, right? It's a staple of big item battles on Hyrule Temple, not so much the competitive scene, but there are some very legitimately good competitive Kirby players out there at this point, and I've been surprised by just how much Stone has crept its way into their game plans. Again, there's nothing all that technical going on here. I'd love it if you could, for example, use Stone as a footstool out of shield option, but it's just a bit too slow for that. It's just Kirby's player base squeezing every bit of power they can out of every move they can. So you will see them use Stone to, for example, safely get into a recovery situation instead of a landing situation. That's not to say Kirby has a particularly incredible recovery either, but given how floaty he is and how poor his air movement is, he's still generally less comfortable coming down than he is going up.
No, Tara, I didn't say that. No, Kirby doesn't have anything footstool out of shield related. Maybe you can do rock if their shield is low. But if they know their shield is low, they'll just roll. Watching any of CEO, maybe on Monday. Alright. Next one we're going to watch is the wonderfully broken characters to play in Smash Ultimate, brought to you by Tavares. We've watched him before. I don't remember what we watched from him before. But we're going to watch it. Guess what we do? We watch things. We're the content thieves, the content stealers. Now, speaking of the content stealers, have you guys noticed that Spargo here kind of looks a little bit like Chippy? I can't be the only one that thinks this, right? With the glasses especially? No? Can I get some vouchers? Someone validate me, please. He looks a lot like Chippy here. Now, I have a theory. I haven't talked to Chippy since the war. And I'm thinking that maybe he became a professional Smash player and faked his own death. Why Spargo Loki looks like he sell doors. Door giveaway, door giveaway. Zoom in and enhance. Yeah, you guys see it. You know? Chippy was in here yesterday. Was it Chippy? Or was it Spargo? All I'm saying is, I might be onto something here. Anyway, what does Tavares have to say to us?
Has been out for 6 years, and it seems like it's here to stay for a bit longer, at least 2 more years before we get it on Switch 2. And if you want to get into competitive Smash and go to tournaments, I think there are certain characters you should keep in mind. I'm just going to give you a good idea of where to look if you're trying to pick up a tournament character.
Okay, for picking up a tournament character and you want something wonderfully broken, just play Steve. Wonderfully broken and you want to make friends, Joker, Fox, not Game & Watch.
And what to expect when you play them. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to be doing videos all week, so make sure to watch out for that. But let's jump into this. First category of character is the best meta characters in the game that will always be relevant no matter how the meta shifts, and we have Steve to start off. Steve is the best character in the game, and there are many videos and reasons I could say to explain why, but I'm just gonna say he's extremely powerful. He has some of the best moves in the game, extremely strong pressure. He can make platforms, he can camp as much as he wants, he can flank as much as he wants, he can kill you from zero.
Yes, this is all true, but he's very lab heavy and nobody wants to do that. That's kind of the problem. And nobody will like you if you play Steve, you know?
He is incredible. He is very overtuned and a ton of people hate this character, but if you want to win, this is the character for you. He has a ton of results, a ton of players playing him, and he is the most common character you'll run into. Even if you're not playing Steve, learning how to fight Steve is your #1 priority if you're going to get into Smash Ultimate, because you will not avoid him unless you go to a Steve ban tournament, which there aren't that many, especially nowadays. Next we have Rob, and depending on the Rob main, you're probably going to hear that he has a lot of bad matchups, but it just doesn't matter. He is so polarizing. He has 0 to deaths, like every good character apparently has. He has extremely broken moves in Nair that's super safe, that combos into everything, down tilt that's super plus, and does a ton of damage and leads to a ton of combos.
He also has the ability to walk your dog for you, file your taxes for you, file for divorce for you, do the dishes, take the trash out. Like, it does all of that. Like, Rob will do all of those things for you.
He has extremely good projectiles, some of the best edge guarding in the game, lives a long time, kills quite early. There's nothing that Rob is really struggling with other than the fact that he gets comboed sometimes, and that can be quite annoying for some people, but if you like the power and...
Someone in my chat said Rob down tilt is plus. Bro, Rob down tilt is so fast. Like, the move in its entirety is barely reactable.
Versatility of Rob, you should give him a try. Yes, he might seem to have matchups that can be quite annoying, but just knowing that you can always come back from any matchup just because your character is that good can be very valuable for some people. And I think Rob is the perfect
Rob is just Crag. Change my mind. I can't. You're spitting.
antithesis of that. Yeah, you're going to be in disadvantage for a while, but don't get hit by Nair because you probably are going to die. Another character that's very commonly played, we have Snakes.
I wouldn't recommend anyone pick up Snake. Let me just throw that out there right now. If you're playing Snake, you're not playing Smash Ultimate. He is very complicated. He is very different, though I find him very fun. He's my favorite character in the entire game. I wouldn't recommend people pick him up.
Snake is extremely powerful as well, with very weird rules. There's a lot of stuff you gotta pay attention when you fight a Snake player, because if you don't, you're gonna die very early. He has up tilt that kills very early, especially with how long he lives, because he's gonna have rage. He has grenade that is a frame 1 combo escape that can make strings very annoying to go for, which beats entire characters. He has Nikita, which is the best edge guarding tool in the game, making it super free with no risk and
unbanned,
kill people really early. He is very weird when it comes to playing Smash Ultimate, because he technically controls the pace from the beginning of the game and doesn't really have that many bad matchups. He has 2 weird matchups in Mega Man and Inkling, which are characters no one really plays, so you're not going to run into them into bracket. And if you do, you always do have your X factor of just being a heavy character that kills early, and Snake is super good at doing that, killing early and living a long time. He is really good at getting extra credit, and by that I mean just getting extra percent when you take a stock, because grenades just add up. And
he's just not talking about how hard the character is to play, and like yes, he's like a good character for tournament and he's fun in tournament, and the problem is you won't get results with him because most people, actually I wouldn't even say most people know the matchup against Snake, because that's just not true.
you can just
Game & Watch is unplayable. Ness is trash. Lucas is trash. Like, there's so many. Like, Min is obnoxious. Sonic is garbage. Like,
keep throwing them over and over and over again. If you want to control the pace from the beginning of the game and just make your opponent play your game, there's no character better at it than Snake. Next up is the fundamentals that matter category. These are easy to learn characters, but hard.
Nate, no way you're putting Aegis in the fundies category. You will lose to Nair only Mithra. These are not fundies character, whatever.
To master characters. Characters that will probably make you go from an 0-2er to 2-2er once you basically understand them, but will make it hard to break into that next wall. We're going to start off with Falco. Falco is very easy. One of the characters that are seen as probably the most toxic when it comes to beginner Smash Ultimate, because he has a long combos that are easy to do from really broken combo starters. Up tilt is fantastic. If they're above you, in front of you, breathing next to you, landing on you, running at you, just use up tilt. It's so good at that. It leads to your kill confirm, it leads to all of your broken combos, it leads to drag downs. It's fantastic. But even then, if you don't get the up tilt, do fair. Fair is also really good, leads to a ton of combos and lasts super long. His grab also leads to those same combos. With so many ways to combo start, Falco can be very easy for people to learn and pick up. The problem then starts when people start avoiding your combos and realize that your character is light.
Larry is still notable. Let's go. I didn't even realize he put Larry in there. That's hilarious. Yeah, Joker should go in this category realistically, not like, sure, whatever.
Can get edge guarded and is a bit slow. So there are certain weaknesses that are going to add up when you fight people who are smart enough to like practice against Falco and not get hit by this stuff. But hey, you're gonna get to 2-2 really fast if you just sit in training mode and do his combos for a little bit, because it just adds up so easily. You do up tilt, upper, up.
I think this guy's underestimating how hard it is to go 2-2 nowadays.
Upper, back air, get them to 80, do up tilt back.
Do you think this guy goes to tournaments? I don't know.
Here, that's a stock. Oh, they go off stage and miss their jump by a little bit, forward air them out, they're dead. Oh, they have an up B that takes a little bit of time, or is easy to spike, or even if it's not easy to spike, you can still go for it. You have one of the best jump downers in the game. His jump height's super good, he has ways to camp, he is very easy to learn. But again, once you fight people who know how to fight him, it can be a bit tough to really get in on some types of neutral, and footsies can be a bit weird for him, so keep that in mind. Despite what some people may tell you, Pyra/Mythra is easily the best sword and definitely one of the easiest characters in the game. Yes, they do have
He talks about easy characters, but I don't think easy characters do a great job at teaching you the fundamentals is the problem here. Like, I think that Falco and Aegis both, like, kind of like how do I say this? Like, they over centralize your neutral around one move, and basically what I mean by that is Falco, you're just mashing up tilt and grab, and with Mythra, you're just mashing nair and down tilt or dash attack or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're learning how to like impose your play style on somebody else as opposed to like actually reacting to what they do for the most part.
recovery that can
They
be
play
given
their own game, correct? Yes.
if you just don't think and then get your jump took and then just upbeat right into somebody. Yeah, you're gonna die, but they have such a broken neutral with extremely safe options, both of them. Mythra is known as the fast, safe one that can start combos for free and doesn't really kill, and Pyra rather is the one with really big moves that kill extraordinarily early. Switching between them is the thing that's going to be the tough part to master though, because I've seen some Pyra/Mythra stay on Pyra too long trying to kill instead of just going Mythra against certain characters, or some Mythras not know how to kill so they just let them live to 180. It can be a struggle when you're trying to fight good people because everyone's going to fight Pyra/Mythra, so they might know how to get around the tricks. But once you do learn how to get in on certain people with both of the characters and mastering them both, because fighting two characters can be a bit taxing, this character rewards it. It's
Please don't
insane
include Leo and
how
Aegis. That's what I'm
much
saying.
this character can do against everyone in the game for free and get away with so much, because Mythra has Foresight and Pyra has some of the safest, strongest moves in the game. So I gave you a brawler type and I gave you a sword type, and my choice for projectile type, that's the easiest to learn, that's the hardest to master, is Samus. Samus,
A projectile fundamentals character, Samus. I would never recommend Samus just because like it's so easy to just like develop such terrible habits. I don't know about Samus, man.
is really annoying for people online. If you fought a Samus, you get it. They spam charge shot, they run away from you, they forward air your jumps, they set up from combos from it. This character is very obnoxious, but they are really important when it comes to trying to understand conditioning. When you're trying to get your opponent to do something that you want them to do while also being very safe, Samus has been that kind of character for many years in multiple Smash games, and this game is no different. If you want a character who controls the pace but is a little more proactive than Snake can be and has more normal Smash things that you'll see in other Smash games, then Samus is your character. There is a bit of a problem when it comes to your matchup spread though, because she doesn't have the best matchup spread. Like, I still think she beats Kazuya and goes even with Rob, but does lose to characters like Falco. Like Olimar can be really tough if you run into one, can be a struggle against Steve, can be a struggle against Game & Watch, but she still is very good at the beginning level and beats a ton of the mid to low tiers really hard. These characters in this next category are characters with very comfortable brackets, but they are very hard to play.
They're hard to play. That doesn't mean they're comfy bracket characters at all. What the heck? I would say that Pikachu is one of the least comfy characters. Any light character you are not comfortable with at all.
They do have a lot of execution when it comes to fighting people, so you're not going to get carried and sleep through those types of brackets, but you don't have to worry about their matchup spreads because they can always do it against every character in the game. First up is Joker. Joker mostly is known for his difficulty because base Joker doesn't really have gigantic moves, but he is very fast and very hard to hit if you learn to hone in on that. F-tilt is very good, and he has gun to keep people from jumping constantly. He has setups galore. His combos are very good, and again, he's fast, so he can always try to get away from people and play with punish while also getting in very well.
Hey, Sonic's
as long as you're willing to learn.
Look, we're watching a video that says Sonic is really easy to play and you should pick him up, and I totally agree with this guy, man.
The combos and learn the routes that you can get a lot of damage, he won't be that tough.
Has Inkling showed up yet in this video? Fuck no, dude. This guy wants you to win. You think he's gonna tell you to pick Inkling?
Even on top of that, he has Arsene when he turns into a basically a god. His moves get bigger, his moves get more damaging, his advantage state turns from, oh, I'm a character who has to work hard, to killing you at 30 because they got a down air at like 45. They can kill you with down air up smash. It's nuts. This character is so disgusting, but at the same time, you'll probably have to learn a lot when it comes to playing without him, because
I don't know if I agree. Like, I don't know if I would recommend new players picking up Joker. Like, I would and I wouldn't. Like, I would because there is a lot to learn, and like, he's one of the most versatile characters, right? If you do actually take the time to learn him. But he's also so complicated, and there's so many like different play styles you'll have to like master. And like, you have to use all of your moves, which sounds stupid, but like, there's a lot of characters that he's already talked about where you don't have to use a large majority of your kit. Whereas with Joker, like, you have to not only use your entire kit, you have to use it at the right time, like at the right place at the right time every time, or else like you won't maximize like your character. Does that make, like, you won't be as good if you don't do that stuff. So it's hard for me to recommend Joker as a starter character, though he is very good and very all around.
a lot of times you're going to be fighting people who know how to combo you, and Arsene goes away real fast if they do a lot of damage to you. Again, he is high execution, but he's so worth it. He can do it against every character in the game, and his worst matchups really aren't that hard. Like, he has to fight, I think Sonic's one of his worst matchups, but even then, because Sonic's pace is a bit slow, he can get his Arsene back and always make it back from him, and Sonic's not a very common character, so I do think Joker has a lot of worth there. Next up, we have Pikachu, kind of a slept on character for many years, because without people playing this character because of its difficulty, it can be strange to find what makes Pikachu so good. And then you realize that any struggle matchup he might seem to have, he can just camp harder than they can camp him. He's so difficult to hit with one of the best moves in the game in T-Jolt, making it so he can always camp you out and approach with very, I think, relative ease to everyone else. Yes, he is a bit light, so he dies early if you mess up, because the execution part is still a big factor here, but he always can camp someone out if he doesn't want to fight them, and if he does want to fight them, he can cobble them to death with insane zero to death stuff. Even if he doesn't get zero to death stuff, he can do a ton of damage with his drag downs, and his edge guarding is some of the best in the game.
Again, I feel like I wouldn't recommend Pikachu at all. Because, like, he has, like, a lot of the same stuff as Joker, right? Where he has a lot of the tools to get any job done. But he's also, like, a little bit more unforgiving than Joker because he's light. And his combos are hard, too.
Again, he's a bit difficult. So if you want to run into somebody who's a little easier, this won't be your pick. But with Pikachu being so polarizing and rare, this is a sneak pick that you can surprise a lot of people with. Just focusing on edge guarding characters and learning how to avoid their biggest damaging moves will make Pikachu seem a lot more broken than he might seem at first. And I love watching and playing Pikachu, so I hope that we get more Pikachus out there. Finally, for this category, we have Sonic. Known as the poster child of having a broken matchup spread, there is probably not a matchup that Sonic straight up loses in the most traditional sense, because he can always camp them out better than them. He can destroy them in advantage. He has extreme damage for a character like himself. He can always get there and chase somebody. Sonic just has it all, except he's a little stubby, and being a little stubby means he has to be close to his opponent to hit them. Yes, if they have to chase him around the whole time, it can be pretty easy, especially
I wouldn't normally recommend characters that struggle to kill, and I think Sonic is one of those characters.
destroying some characters who are even the smallest bit slow, who can't chase him. And if you're fast, he still can combo you to death.
And also, I don't want there to be more Sonic players out there.
It's nuts because he doesn't really have a zero to death, but there's certain exchanges where it's like he throws you off stage, charges an F smash, and kills you at 70, and that's just how Sonic is. It feels like the Sonic players aren't really common. Like, you still do hear about them, but when you run into that good Sonic player, he can be the most obnoxious thing to ruin your day. Playing him is a bit weird because he has all of these options. You have to figure out what you can do in order to beat your opponent. But again, high execution is what you got to expect if you want to have some of the best matchup spreads in the game. The next category we have is specialists that matter. These are the weird characters who are a bit awkward to learn at first, but are broken, and do not get that twisted. We have Min Min. This character's nuts. With some of the best ledge trapping and edge guarding in the game,
Dude,
with an
Matt, the
absurd
first.
neutral, which makes it really tough to get in on her. She's weird. She makes you have to press A and B to use both of her arms. She really only has 3 moves at the beginning of the game, and it feels...
Another instance of, like, I wouldn't recommend anyone pick up Min Min first, just because, again, she's very good, obviously, yes, but she's also very fragile. You could just get edge guarded or gimped by, like, a lot of people and just not really understand what went wrong.
Weird to say that, oh, this character's in Smash Brothers, because this is such a polarizing character, but if you learn her, you're going to be the most hated player in the venue, like, every single time. No one wants to run into a good Min Min. Good Min Mins are so mentally taxing, because every time you get hit, you could die. They make it so tough to have your game be played, because she just controls the pace of it so well. She does have a little bit of a struggle when it comes to her disadvantage, because certain characters, I mean, just destroy her off stage. Like, she gets thrown off stage, she has to tether, she gets nared, and she dies at 30. Sometimes that will happen versus some characters, but a lot of characters just lose at the character select screen, and she's so worth it if you're willing to learn. If there's a character who is hard to learn and hard to master, Peach is probably the poster child of that character. Very weird mechanics when it comes to her float, because she makes it so her aerials are extremely strong and makes her movement super hard to pin down. She can be very difficult to hit once you fight a good Peach player and learn her movement. But if you don't know her movement, she seems very weak, so she can be very polarizing in that sense. I do think she's worth it though, because of course everyone points to her crazy combos, which are nuts. They are nuts, but they are very situational. If you don't get the right hit or the right DI, you're probably not going to get the 0 to death you want. But even on top of that,
Why do you not say
she's
Palu is
extremely
solid,
hard to hit,
easy to play,
has
easy
a
to
really
pick up?
consistent projectile when it comes to
I think he's just more so focusing on, like, top tier characters for people to pick up, which, like, I guess, yeah, but you can win with high tiers, so I don't know why he wouldn't include, like, Palu or Wolf or something like that.
turn up, and has some very broken moves. Keep in mind, with her aerials being super strong all the time because of the float mechanic, she can pressure shield for free, like really free. But I don't think people know how she works a lot of time, because they look at how Mudace plays and see how much work he seems to be putting in over everyone else who's just spamming aerials, who's using really easy to understand tools. But I do think Peach is super cool, so if you're willing to put in the work to learn a character who I think is worth it, Peach is here. And finally, a character that might be weird for me to put here for people who used to play Smash 4 but don't really know about how she is in Ultimate, we have Bayonetta. Bayonetta destroyed Smash 4. She was extraordinarily broken in Smash 4, and they had to make sure that she wasn't as broken. And they kind of succeeded. She isn't as broken as Smash 4, but she is still nuts. She still has a lot of stuff that made her broken in Smash 4, like her insane
This video makes no sense. Yeah, like, again, Bayonetta is also just an insanely complicated character. I don't think people should pick up.
damage being like...
But I mean, the whole, like, this whole category is just, like, specialist characters. I feel like this should have been, like, a characters to avoid category, you know?
Absurd to deal with, which time being really obnoxious. She still does 0 to death sometimes, but it's a lot more work. She is a lot more work and a lot more awkward than she was in Smash 4. And I wouldn't say less rewarding, but definitely less polarizing. She still is very strong though. I still think she has some of the best burst options in the game in terms of side B. She does have gigantic moves and really good edge guarding. Like, there's a lot of stuff to like about Bayonetta. When you fight a Bayonetta though, it feels like, man, you're fighting someone who's really hard to approach, but can approach at a moment's notice. There's always somewhere that she can hit you and chase you and then do 80 or kill you. And I think that's something you should watch out for if you're curious about playing Bayonetta again. If you used to play her in Smash 4, she won't be as good, but she will be very good. So I think you should give her a try. Now we're going to talk about the bracket characters that I would describe
the
as
Luigis.
the Bowser spaces. Characters you never want to run into in bracket because they're just that scary, or just that polarizing. And first, we're going to be talking
These are the characters to play if you want to get counterpicked. That's what you pick these characters for.
about Kazuya. Kazuya is known for his extreme damage and his 0 to death
Let's skip
combos.
through this.
Get that all the time, and he still does have struggle matchups that are very common characters, like Rob being his worst matchup
Recommending hero is also hilarious. Like, what the heck?
is
He's not even a top tier.
very scary because you have to fight Robs all the time. But I still think if you are excited to just troll people, Hero is your guy. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. This was a very long one, but I think it was needed to try to get more people to try to play some Smash Ultimate. So if you're curious about more characters or want to see more Smash Ultimate content, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be talking about lots of different characters and give you lots of tips so you can have a better and smoother tournament experience. But have a good day.
This video is not about recommending characters. You're right. It's just the wonderfully broken characters to play in Smash Ultimate, but like the intro.
It on Switch 2, and if you want to get into competitive Smash and go to tournaments, I think there are certain characters you should keep in mind. I'm just going to give you a good idea of where to look if you're trying to pick up a tournament character. And
Yeah, I don't know, man. The intro kind of contradicts what you said, and it kind of he's like clearly recommending characters for people, you know?
what
I don't know. I just don't know. Intro is misleading? No, I think it's what you wanted to do. If I were to make a pick for someone, it would be Roy or Wolf. Those are good characters to pick up. They're pretty simple. They have those like weird niche matchups that you have to learn. And they do well against the relevant characters, you know what I mean? This category should be called Luigi, the last one. Think he overestimates Bayo? I don't think so. I think Bayo's pretty damn good. Cloud is another good one. Just easy to pick up. I think most sword characters also are just easy to pick up. One second. Oh, hold it. The wonderfully broken characters in Smash Ultimate. See, I think when I read that title, I try to think of the characters that I think are well designed and also very good. And I think of characters like Joker. I think of characters like Fox. I think of characters like Snake. That's just what I think about, like well designed. You know? Fox is really good to pick up. Maybe. It's hard to say. Lucina, yeah, that's another good one. Characters that are very good but have like weaknesses that actually matter. Like, Rob isn't a well-designed top tier because, like, so his drawback is supposed to be that, like, he's large and he's easy to combo, right? But it doesn't matter because you won't live long enough to capitalize on those because he has 0 deaths. What is this guy's problem? Oh, and the lag. This is awesome. It's the lag for me. Oh, you know, I'm probably not wired because I went in too fast. Dude's got problems, dude. Oh, that shield poke, man. Resident back air bot. That didn't sweet spot. Okay, I know you want up air finishing touch. You're obvious. My parry. Let me make sure. I am not wired. Okay, that makes sense. That didn't have to be scary. Man, you love Ironmans this week? I mean, I'm slowly progressing through one. It's fine. His playstyle tells me the lag wasn't just on your end. Loki's bidding. What keeps you going? My legs. My arms. Those keep me in motion. My beating heart. Oh, you know what? I haven't really done variety this week, huh? Actually, that's not true. I played Mario Kart Wii. You got games on your Switch too? Not enough. Do you use Nintendo LAN adapter or a third-party one? You don't need an adapter for the Switch 2. You can just plug it right into the dock. Is Rob cheap? Yes. Holy lit. Yeah, I'm glad that worked out. Yeah! Cheeser! Want to see a true combo?
I submit to no one.
Back throw forward smash. Works versus anyone who has an IQ less than probably 15. Did you like the Ike changes between 4 and Ultimate? No. I miss his helicopter up air and he's just Nair bot up B bot now. Luca, thank you for the 5 gifted. My man, any other Prime gamers in the chat want to sub for free? What am I supposed to do, dude? Not supposed to be a jab, by the way. It's supposed to be an F tilt. And also, why am I not dropping through the platforms like at all? I'm like getting so many input errors. Ooh, Storms with the 5 gifted. Oh, we got some gifters. Just happy to be alive. Oh, I don't have a fucking jump. Just happy he didn't armor through it. It's a little scary. My dagger didn't come out. Oh! Let's go! We're Masher! Just throw out 4 kill options in a row and you'll win. Did I miss anything? Hold up. Storms had all the gifted. Oh, Locky had a bunch of gifted. Oh, I missed the fuck out of that. He had the most too, I think. Is that 10? I can't count. Doesn't look like 10, but it looks close. It was 10. My goated community, I love you guys so much. It's fine, I get it. I don't bring a very good energy here. Locky, you bring that that Mewtwo apologist energy that every friend group is missing, you know what I mean? Is this really what we're doing? This is fatherless gameplay. And it's lagging like shit. Dude, this lag is actually unforgivable, bro. What is this? Okay, that was supposed to be a grab, by the way, not an air dodge in like a dumbass. But the lag spiked exactly when I wanted to input it. Ooh, almost interacted there. Don't want to do that. This is actually such bad lag. Man, I like don't want to count this match because of how laggy it is. I don't care that he's playing like a total pussy. It's that I can't do anything about it because of the lag. Dude, oh my, I cannot get a good input out. Can I rage quit, guys? Will you count this against me if I rage quit because the lag? Be honest, is really bad. I'm getting a lot of vouchers. I'll make fun of you, so please do it. Even if I win this game, I won't count it. How about that? Win with sudden death? It seems like that's going to be what happens. Okay, as far as offline is concerned, I technically won that. I have lower percent than he. If this was timeout, I won. This dude paid money for Nintendo Switch 2 welcome tour. Everyone make fun of him. Why do you take the long way to block? I don't block people a lot. What's the fast way? I don't actually know. Oh, I didn't get the tipper somehow. The snake just did C4 F smash. He probably meant to do dash attack. He just clanked with it somehow. Tipper this time. Woo! Dude is a nair monster. Mixed. I wanted him to feel good about it, so I ran into the rocket. I'm a nice guy. No jump. From downtown. Stop naring so much. I'm just gonna, I want to up smash out of shield it. Okay, or I can just yoink, kabloink him. This guy needs to camp. He needs to stop doing just run of neutral air all the time and dash attacking everything. Resident Evil got me shitting my pants now. Oh, that's not good. Did all of my Pikmin just fucking explode? This is someone who just flexes their character privilege all over the place. I parried it. Hit him! Useless Pikmin. Get away from me, you goddamn freak. This guy's a goddamn freak. Doing jump fireball. That's what he does when he plays neutral. That shouldn't have hit me, dude. I actually found Mr. Jump Fireball. It's insane. I'm so scared of forward smash. I think I'm dead. Okay, well, he saved me there. Now he's pulling back the fireball? Holy. Okay. Yeah, he did run off cape literally every time he did jump fireball, every time there was a break in neutral. That was a gamer right there. This guy would have been cooking year 1 ultimate. Dude, he would have shaped the meta. This Mario has some parallels to the big ass guy in Resident Evil 2. Will chase you down endlessly, and that's it. That's the only parallel. How far are you in Resident Evil 2 now? Ooh, Skaj with the 50 months. Thank you. I definitely missed that. I just got tripped. Why'd I get tripped? The safest LB ever? Holy. That was supposed to be a forward air. Hi, Dad. Close. Great trade. Storms! Thank you for the gift. Appreciate it. Fundamentals, fundamentals. Missed 5 from Locky. Did I? I don't like that guy. Do I really have to keep thanking him for subs every time, dude? Like, really? Does he deserve it? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Locky gifted another 5, guys. Like, at what point are you just like gifting for attention? You know, it's like kind of hard to watch. True, fuck me, I guess. Thank you, Locky, for the 5. I appreciate it. Can't wait to get all this money back tomorrow. Oh shit, Locky gifted even more. Holy. Surely you kill me. I wanted to tech the stage. That was awesome. Least mashy cloud, bro. Press more buttons. You want to win. Yeah, more of that. More of those Randy dash attacks. That's what you want. Oh, well, now you don't have a jump, though, so. You know what? For Locky, we'll play a little bit of Mewtwo. I don't think I have not played Mewtwo yet, so you know what? Locky, thank you for the 10 gifted. Enjoy this game of Mewtwo. You've earned it, big guy. See, now you can't be upset with me. Oh, lock in? Alright, I'll stop talking to chat. I'll stop making jokes. This is gonna be the hottest M2 you've ever seen. 1 footstool disable. Ooh. One of those. Oh my god. Really? You just do that? He's a masher. Okay. Like, unapologetically. No. If you can footstool out of shield, disable the back air, we have a chance. You can fall out of that sometimes. I'm terrified. He's dead. I was like pretty sure if I didn't press a button, I would be fine. And I'm glad I was. I've already played Donkey Kong for the person who requested Monkey. Sorry, Shatter. Look who with the gifted. Look at all these gifties today. Holy, the numbers, they go up. Mason, the numbers, what do they mean? Guys, at 500 subs, I'm doing a face reveal. I've been using a very high-tech VTuber model this whole time. Can you fight the next person I gift? Oh, Skaja with the J. Yeah, I got you. I know that's just your alt, dude. The second one. Big moves. I wanted to shield. Oh, Nair Bear. There we go. Thank you to that YouTuber who told me DDD up tilt is OP. What is he swinging at? What is going on? What did I miss? Caught his ass. Ooh, safe. Get him, Gordo. Trash ass Gordo. No, I couldn't land in time to shield. Where was he? Grab Merchant. He dead? I am close. Get that bomb out of here. Got his ass. No! I died so early. Link Forwarder is broken. Bro didn't tech his own bomb. This guy's insanely good. Greninja, gotcha. I think the person who refunded also wanted Greninja, so hey. Double Greninja request. That means I have to play it twice in a row, right? Or I have to play Squirtle for an entire game. Joke's on you, I didn't refund his ass. Good. We hate our viewers and chatters.
3, 2, 1, go!
Don't wanna anger the upbeat mashing Samus player. Watch out. Like, how are you falling out of my moves, man? He's not as young. That shield poked. I love when that happens. No, I'm going over here. This game is so good. Crouch canceling is a great mechanic. Bro is on it. Kill moves after kill moves after kill moves. Hey, you miss all the kill moves, you don't mash out. Tell him. Wait, I don't have another jump. So lucky. I can't believe I'm alive. Holy. I think he might. No, he won't die. Dude, you need more kill moves. Why'd you stop? You were just about to make it big. Counter should have less lag. Tar with the 5 gifted. Oh my goodness. Squidward! I love anti-air and charge shots. Those are so good. That also combo and also kill. He's just mashing, dude. Oh my god. I even delayed the jab. I'm tilting so hard right now. It's not even funny. No. Die. No. There's so many layers to what's wrong with what you're doing. It's pissing me off. Oh, I did buffer it. I fucking hate this game. I fucking hate this game. Alright, we're playing a different game. I'm done. 5 gifted subs are on discount. Oh, that's why everyone's doing it.
Elite Smash.
Let's play a little bit of Rivals, y'all. It's all Lockie's fault, let's be honest. More gifties in a Prime sub, by the way. Oh shit, Risk Line with the 5 gifted. Have the paper with the Prime. Hell yeah. What is Arrival? Have I seen the patch changes? No. Are they out yet? Oh, right, I have to put the thing in. Oh, hell no. Not the US dollars. Wait, how do I claim my stuff? Wait. I know that there's Rano nerfs. It's very sad. He doesn't deserve it. Full of beans. Ew. Wait, this is kind of spicy. This one's good, but dude, I don't want to spend on it though, you know? What if they come out with more Rano costumes that I want, you know? I like the waffle maple. That's a good one. Rondo nerfs seem relatively mild. Do you know what they are? Just off the dome. You don't want to spend $2 after all the money we just gave? I wouldn't even be spending my own money. It's the best part. Still no. Gotta stretch that out first. Let me get someone I always play against. Let's go. Wait, what do you mean number 1 under the extended lineup for EVO? What does that even mean? Wait, is it true that you get V-Bucks after every... Well, like, if you get level 2 to a character, you get your free V-Bucks? They made all of his hurt boxes a tiny bit thicker. We'll see. We'll see if that matters. They nerfed the disjoint on up B. Doesn't even feel like there is a disjoint, bro. What the hell? The hell? I feel like his voice gets louder with this ult. Just run up. Oh, that doesn't ground you anymore? It bounces you if he's on the lava. It always did that. I had no idea. Bro is loud. No! Honestly, bro is not approaching me. Hey, he's not approaching me, guys. It's the only reason I'm doing this. I went too low. No. If you're approaching Locks, as Locks, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, he should probably just be using his little meatball as like a League of Legends minion and approaching with it. Or sitting on his magma if I'm camping, you know? Great reference, Luca. Go, my minions. Yeah, I wasn't gonna comment on Shrike. That sucked. Why? Fucking just send me down. I was doing so well. I haven't hit a wave thing off the thing, you know? I don't think I could side B again. I guess I just immediately up B and then... I just immediately up B and accept that I'm getting ledge hogged. When Ironman and Rivals? Oh shit, dude. Who knows? This guy plays a lot. I run into him a lot. I hate that he's just like most of the time just crouch cancel, mashing down smash. He plays like someone who hates this game, you know what I mean? Case in point. Think I'll die. Haha! Wait, is 1700 next rank or is it 18? I wish there was character specific ranks again. I enjoyed that. There should be character specific and overall. I don't know anything about Smash Ladder Scotch, not gonna lie. Ooh, very high rank. Claren. Ooh. What's Comic Palooza? It's a Texas tournament. It's got rivals. Can you tell? Oh, run up spot dodge on him. What's going on, Void? My daggers! Haha! What up, big guy? Oh yeah, we looked. Frosty has 88 months, so he's got you beat. No! No, I wanted to hit fall on the up smash. That was down smash. He was dead. Yeah, out. Dude. Sour spot forward air. Reverse hitbox. He survived at 209%. Fucking terrifying shit. I don't know if Clarence likes this stage, so I'll leave it open. Just kidding. So you're gonna get cheesed while edge guarding? It's never impossible. Ew. This stage? He didn't dash back. No fear, no nothing. No, I DI'd that to go to the bubble. hate winning, apparently. They didn't rank me up? What the hell? Have there been any actual tournaments for offline rivals too? Yeah, there's been a handful. I've been in a handful of them as well. I've placed well in all the ones I've entered. Like at least top 8, I think. I may have gotten 9th at one. I don't remember though. This game is fun, but servers sometimes kill the vibe. I am the new rank. It just did an update. Wahoo! I'm red ranked. What is that? Oh, I'm copper? Fuck yeah. Whoa. Oh, I thought he was gonna do something a little different. Nice. I fucking hate Loxodon. He's so floaty. Floaty. I'm dead, right? Surely I'm dead. Wow. That was a good recovery, though. I'll give it up. wasn't on the lava. What is this? Thank God. That was fucking terrifying. Loxodont in these last hit scenarios are not for me, bro. Shout out to when Mars kept trying to play Rano like he had respect. Now he just matches fair and he's way higher rank. It's the way to be, bro. Why are you spot dodging like I'm even over there? Okay, I forgot. You're just gonna spot dodge literally everything. Oh, it is Grandmaster. You guys were right. The slow climb to Ethereum begins. I sure hope my friend is going to volleyball tonight. Dude, I heard your friend is going to volleyball tonight. He's bringing his knee pads, and he's getting in there. It's just what I heard, though. It's impossible to know for sure. He like almost comboed. Dude, I know he's doing it and he's just falling out of my moves. Like, it's so obnoxious. Right now, I'm dead. Tried to call him out for going back. I don't know how to edgeguard this character. It's sad. I think it's also so stupid you can die to that like that. I don't think Lano's Nair should be anywhere near as strong as it is. I don't think it should ever even accidentally kill. I think that's stupid. Dude, like, are you fucking serious? Great recovery. Oh, I should have bubbled. You're not dead. Nice. I didn't. I tried to delay it as much as possible.
If he just does like tech down air there, I think I just die at 0. Like, I'm not even kidding. But he didn't because he's trash spitting. Not even down air, dude. I think Shine is probably better than down air there. But fuck it. Good connection, Orca. Doubt. Loki, I was hoping that saved me. Still late with the raid. Another one. Oh, baby. I'm surprised you could shield that. I need to stop killing that like shit. No, I died. I wish I didn't do down B there. Actually so tragic I get down B. Pretty sure this is one of Arcane's worst matchups. I believe it. I don't really know why. Up and right didn't save me, huh? Scammed out my grab. Not dead. Mono's unbalanced. I should have upbeat to the left and tried to kill him because I knew I wasn't recovering. No idea that way. Fuck. That was good. It was a good match. Good spot to end it. I'm okay with ending it there. My points! No! My win streak. Actually, that's what I should be more upset about. Leaderboard button still don't work. Nice. L plus Bozo plus Bozo. Well, I feel like that had to have been someone very good. Hold up. What was the, whatever. See ya, I guess. Later, bub. Did I join to watch half of one match? You sure did. I mean, it's 6 p.m., bro. You know what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your weekend. When we come back Monday, we'll be watching See Ya. Adios.